Graders. I'm here to present a lesson to you on comparing fractions that have the same denominator. And I like this lesson because pretty much once you have the idea, the rest you can figure out easily. Now, I don't want that to scare you if you think, oh no, I don't know how to do that. But here it is. I'm going to show you what we're going to do today. So your learning intention is to learn to compare fractions that have the same denominator. And in case you've forgotten, your denominator in a fraction is the bottom number. The denominator tells you the total number of parts. The top number is I'm waiting. Somebody's going to say it. It's the numerator. The numerator is how many are selected or how many parts you're talking about. Okay, so let's get started. I have a video here we're going to look at so the person that made the video can help us learn about comparing fractions with the same denominator. Give me a second. I got to move me so I can start the video.
Hey guys, and thanks for joining me today. As you can see, we have a bit of a situation here. Those things following us are hungry space gators. They will eat pretty much anything that is big when they are hungry.
Oh dear. No, I don't know why it did that. Hang on.
When they are hungry. We need to feed them some fractions to curb their appetite. Will you guys help me? Great, let's compare some fractions and let them eat the biggest ones. Before we jump in, let's remind ourselves what a fraction is. A fraction represents an equal part of a whole or a group. Here is one whole circle. This is a fraction, 1/3. The 3 or bottom number in a fraction is called the denominator. The denominator tells how many equal parts there are. To be a fraction, all parts must be equal. We have 3 total parts that make up the whole circle. The numerator tells us how many equal parts we are talking about. For example, the number 1 in the numerator is referring to the one green part of the circle. The fraction is 1/3 or one part of the 3 equal parts. When we compare fractions, we want to know if one fraction is greater than, less than, or equal to. If you still need a refresher, check out our last video on comparing numbers for 2nd grade.
I think we got that.
Here we are comparing 2/4 and 3/4. One great way we can compare them is by using models or drawings. When comparing fractions, you want to make sure the models or drawings, or rectangles in this case, are the same size. If we had different size drawings, that would not work, so keep them the same size. Each of these rectangles is divided into 4 parts because the denominators are 4. The left fraction has 2 spots that are colored green.
Now, instead of doing like he did rectangles, I decided to do circles to do my comparing. You could use your fraction strips, you could use circles, however you want to draw it, but they got to be kind of the same size. All right, so I made 2 circles underneath my fractions. And on this one, whoops, I think I'm always pointing backwards. On this one, how many am I going to color in of those 4 circles? I heard somebody say 3. You're right, I'm going to color in 3. Okay, I think we can see that I'm not such a great colorer. All right, how many am I going to color in on the other side? There's 4 whole, that's our denominator, and I'm going to color in 2 of them. I heard somebody say it. Nice job. Okay. All right, bam. I did mine circles. He did his with rectangles. Both of them show 2/4 compared to 3/4. All right, let's see what he does, and then we'll decide what we're going to do.
And the right fraction has 3 spots that are colored green. Looking at the two models, can you tell me which one is bigger or has more green? The fraction on the right, 3/4, is bigger than 2/4. The space gator's mouth always opens to the bigger number, so it wants to eat the 3/4. So we can say that 2/4 is less than 3/4. Great job! Now another way we could have compared these two fractions is by noting that the denominator is the same in both fractions. Both fractions have 4 total parts. This means that we can look at the numerator, and the bigger the number means that fraction is bigger. The numerator on the left is 2, and the numerator on the right is 3. 3 is bigger than 2, so we know 3/4 is bigger than 2/4. Here's a new problem.
Okay, friends, we're not going to look at that problem. We're going to save that problem for a different day. So I'm going to make myself a little bigger so I can talk to you guys, and we'll talk about how this went. Okay, so what he's saying is, before he goes on to different denominators, is anytime you have two fractions and you have to compare them, first thing you want to do is look at the denominator. I'm going to write that down so you can see it with your eyes. So look at the what? What did I say? I don't hear you. And let me give you a hint. When you are comparing fractions, like you're looking in your math book, and they say compare these two fractions, and it says to use greater than, less than, equal to, that's how we compare. First step, always, 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 always look at the denominator. So what are you going to do first when you're comparing fractions? That's what I thought you said. You said look at the denominator. All right, very good. Let's try one. You should be writing this down and practicing with me. So if you don't have your whiteboard, pause me and go get your whiteboard, okay? I miss you guys. I wish you guys were here. This is really not the way teaching should be done. But I'm glad you're watching me, because once you get this, then we can move on to something harder. Sorry. Okay, so let's do sixths. Okay, I'm going to do sixths. And what's the first thing I'm going to do after I do my look at my fractions? Yeah, I think I heard you say look at the denominator. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to give you two fractions. One is going to be 2/6. 2/6 greater than, less than, or equal to 4/6. Got that on your whiteboard, paper, whatever you're working on? All right, 2/6 and 4/6. One's bigger than the other one. So let's make a model, and so we can compare. Let's do a rectangle this time. Now, if you guys have fraction strips, you could grab those too. I did a pretty good job on mine. It's not perfect, but it'll do the job. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, here's my two models. So I'm going to color them in so I can compare which one is bigger. All right, so how many am I going to color in on this side? 6 is my denominator, so that's the total number of parts. So I'm going to color in, everybody tell me, 2. Thank you. So I'm just going to pick the 2 on the end and kind of cross hatch them. On the second one, how many am I going to color in? 4. Sweet. Thank you. Okay. So I've now colored in 4 of those. Now I want you to take a very close look. Lean in close to the screen. Which one's bigger? Which one would the space alligator want to eat if he was a greedy space alligator and wanted to eat the bigger number? I'm going to wait. All right, make a choice. Put your sign in there the way you think it should go, and I'll do mine. Okay, you ready for 1, 2, 3? Show me. 1, 2, 3. Show me. 4/6 is the bigger number. Now, I'm going to show you kind of a sneaky thing you can do without having to draw a model or even get your fraction strips out. So if I'm talking about sixths, so I'm going to make sixths just like I did before. I can put, I'm going to put 5/6 and 2/6. Now, I could get my fraction strips, or I could draw a model. But if the denominators are the same, all I need to do is compare the numerators, because you're talking about sixths. So if the numerator tells you you have more sixths, it's the bigger number. Don't have to draw a model, don't have to find your fraction strips. Look at the denominator. So if we just know that the denominator is the same, all we gotta do is look at the numerator. So if I'm looking at the numerator, which one is the bigger number? I'm going to give you a minute. All right, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, show me. You guys ready? All right, 1, 2, 3, show me. Yes! They're both sixths, so they're the same size pieces. All we need to know is which numerator is bigger. So that's my secret for today. If the denominators are the same, just compare the numerators. Let's do one more. Then you guys can go to your book. Okay, this is for day 4 today. And I think you're working in a page in the book. You start with the share and show. And let me go grab it a second and I can tell you exactly which page. Excuse me just a second. All right, I'm going to go to page 373. And look, it's all practice. Same denominators. All right, let's do the first one. 4/8 and 3/8. Four eighths and 3/8. This is number 2 on page 373. What's the first thing we're going to look at? What's the first thing we're going to look at? Here you go. What are you going to look at first? Yes, you're going to look at the denominator. Oh, yay, they're the same. Same denominator. Look at the numerator. One numerator is bigger than the other. And I'm going to give you a minute, and then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, show me. Remember, the alligator wants to eat the bigger number. So have the alligator's big open mouth towards the bigger number. You guys ready? I hope you wrote an answer down. Don't just wait for me to tell you. All right, 1, 2, 3. Show me. We're talking about eighths. So all we have to do is, if we're talking about eighths, and both of the denominators are the same, all we need to do is compare the numerators. All right, that's it, guys. For fractions with the same denominator, compare the numerator. The higher numerator is the bigger fraction. Hey, thanks for doing math with me today. I'll talk to you guys today 1:30. And I miss you guys. This is not the ideal way to do this, but I know you guys can figure this out. So hopefully by the time I talk to you at 1:30, some of you will have already been able to tell me, hey, how do you compare fractions with the same denominator, and you'll just say, oh, you just compare the numerators. I hope you know that. Cool. Hey, I'll talk to you guys soon. Miss you.